everyone. Welcome to the Unit 1 of this course, Block 1, Management and Overview. My name is Neha and I'm going to take you through this course and through this unit, the overview of management, right? So let's begin. Okay, so firstly, we would look up at the objectives of this particular session, like what all you're going to learn in this session. So, firstly, you will learn about what is management. Is management an art or a science? The characteristics of management, importance and functions of management. So basically, it's all about management. You would be getting the overall idea and overview of what all comprises in management, how it works, and everything. Right. So it is basically the ABC of management. You'll be learning about the basic alphabets of management, right? So let's go ahead. Okay. So introduction. So management is not anything that is new to us, right? We all do management in our daily lives. It's not nothing new and nothing complex term that we're listening for the first time, right? Management has existed since the beginning of human life. The Egyptian pyramids built centuries ago are evidence of excellent organizational skills of scores of workers in those times, right? So even since the beginning of time, management is there for individuals. And okay, so we will learn about why management exists for individuals and business. So it is different for everyone. For individuals, the what is the definition of management is different from what is the definition for the business people, right? So for human survival, management has been a very integral part to organize the activity as well. Because we could not achieve our goals until and unless we're able to manage all the resources that we have in hand nicely, right? So for individuals, they have limited job opportunities and resources and rewards. So they have to manage their resources in a manner that they are able to get that job, particular job. If we are taking the example of jobs in the society. Similarly, for businesses, they have to compete for contracts, clients, and customers because there exist so many competitors in the business world currently for any kind of business. And to beat them, there has to be competition. And again, here comes the management. You have to manage your resources well so that you can get that particular contract from the client, right? So competition is the key driver, though, you can see, even for individuals and as well as for the organization in the context of management, right? So, if there is no competition, then there is no need of management. So, management exists because there is competition going all around us, right? In the work environment and even in our personal lives. So, competition for individual, as I have said, is jobs, resources, rewards, and likewise it is for businesses. So, that is how it comes into picture that management is important. So, we'll move ahead with knowing more about the management and the evaluation. So everyone is a manager. Yes, management could be understood as an activity with a goal accomplishment and result orientation. So are all of us manager? I think the majority of you would say yes, and the answer is yes, because management could be understood as an activity with a goal accomplishment and results orientation. So management is an activity where you have to accomplish the goal, right? You are given certain goal. For example, you're given the sales target of achieving 100 crores in a year. So by using the management functions, you are gonna your aim is to accomplish that goal and achieve that result. Even when we go for shopping, so we have to manage our time because we do not have unlimited time. We can spend like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, or like any countable number of hours for shopping. So after that, you have to keep in mind throughout that you have a goal to accomplish, that you have to shop a particular thing. And at the end of the time, the result should be there along with you. So accordingly, everyone is a manager, right? And we have to manage ourselves. Now, there are certain definitions by the different people, right, about management. So few are stated here, and others that you can also refer to your textbook for it. So Mary Parker Follis has given the definition as management as the art of getting things done through the effort of others, right? So when you're a manager, you're not supposed to work, right? You're supposed to manage everyone. So the efforts that is getting in the work is not yours but of other people, but your effort goes in managing all the people who are putting in their efforts to accomplish the task. Horrell Kunz gave the definition as management tactfully. Again, management means managing the men. Men here refers to the people in your organization, right? Taylor has given the definition as the art of knowing what you want to do in the best and cheapest way. So it is like doing the task efficiently and effectively, right? Efficiently means using the minimum resources, and effectively means on time, right? So Taylor has given the definition of management, which is something that would make you work efficiently and effectively. So many more definitions are there given by various great people. That's in your textbook, so you can always refer to that. Okay, now here comes the debate. How management is an art? So what do you think management is? Management is an art, or management is science? So it is like a good question whether it is an art or it is in science. It is a science. What do you think? You are just pause for a second and think about it yourself. So actually, it is both. Management is an art as well as a science. Why? How management is an art? As you can see in the slide, also it's written management is the art of arts because it organizes and uses human talent. And how management is science because follows a systematic method to find a possible solution for a problem, right? So okay, so in science there are certain principles, laws, theories. Likewise in management there are certain established theories that people follow, right? So that's what makes management a science, because there exist certain theories that are there, and we refer to those theories that you would learn in the upcoming other chapters and blogs. So that's what makes management a science, because it follows certain principles, theories. But why management is an art? Because it involves people. And there is no theory that how you manage people. It differs individual to individual. And it is an art to manage people, right? And in an organization, you will meet people. There are gonna be people at different levels. So that works what makes management an art. So that is how management is a science as well as an art. Now let's look at the points of difference between both. So management is science because it requires concepts, because there are established concepts, theories of it, but it is an art because it is practical knowledge. With experience, you'll get to learn how you need to tackle people and the problems related to them. Management is science because there are methods and principles, but it is an art because it involves personal skill. While dealing with people, you would not state the theory. You would not deal with them on the basis of a theory. That theory X said this, so I'm going to deal with them in the same way, right? You'll have to involve your personal skills. Management is science because it involves theories. There are certain established theories there. And it is an art because it involves creativity. If you would be like a person who would just go and speak the theories, it would not work. But if you are a someone, for people to come to you and for you to bond with people, you need to involve creativity. Even in presentations, you do not just put words and words. You try to incorporate pictures, statistics, numbers, and graphs to make it more interactive and creative. Likewise, so that what makes management an art. You could not really put the data that is there, but you have to involve creativity in it, making management an art. Science is an organized knowledge because there are certain principles that are existing. But management, and there, although there are certain principles existing, but while you follow them, you get to the perfection only when you practice it. So that is why it is said that the people who have more work ethics know how to deal with the problem better because they have been through it for long and they now know how to go through it, right? So I hope the difference between how management is an art and how management is science is clear. Now we'll move to the next slide. Characteristics of management. So management is a group activity. So organization reflects the social dimension where individuals interact with each other in getting things done. No one does the work themselves. We have to interact with people, other individual to get the output, right? So that is what makes management a group activity because it cannot be done in isolation by you yourself. There has to be involvement of different people in it. Management is universal in its application. So management is just not for the organization, business organizations, right? Management is applicable even in government organizations, the businesses, in school institutions, in military, in hospitals, in NGOs. Like every body in the universe requires management. That's what makes management a universal thing, right? That is why also there are certain principles because it is universal, and these principles can be looked up to by all the organizations existing. Management is a continuous activity. So management is dynamic and is continuous because there are changes that happen in the organization and in the society, and we have to continually adapt to it, right? So that is what makes it continuous, because every now and then we have to keep up with this thing. It is an integrated effort. The process of management integrates the human and resources in the achievement of objectives. So only humans cannot achieve an objective. Suppose you have the whole people in the organization, but they do not have resources like a desktop. Then how are they supposed to work? They cannot. And let's take the scenario that there are all the resources, all the desktops in the organization, but there are no people. Then is the desktop supposed to work by its own? It's not possible. That is why it is an integrated effort of both the humans as well as the resources to achieve the organizational goals. Management is a well-defined process. Management is considered unique because of the well-defined and clear-cut process of getting things done through various functions. So it's well-defined because again further you'll get to learn about planning, organizing, staffing, and so on. So there you will learn that how everything, each function of management is so well organized, and that is what in total altogether makes management a well-defined function. It is objective driven and result oriented. So the organizations clearly state the goals and objectives, what they want to accomplish at the year end or at the end of the period. That is why management is result oriented, and we work according to that goal or the objective set so that we can achieve that goal or objective. Management is a set of roles and skills. Individuals or a group of individuals who are actively involved in managerial functions require certain roles and skills to achieve the objectives, right? So these individuals are called managers because they are incorporating their roles and skills to achieve the organizational goals, right? So they are expected to learn and thus required skills so that they can perform up to the expectation or up to the requirement. So it is a set of roles and skills. And management is a discipline because it is a body of knowledge with unique tools in various educational institutions to impart the basic concepts and principles. So it's a discipline because there are certain, it is a body of knowledge, and there are various philosophers and various great people who have put in their knowledge, has set certain rules, theories, and things around it. So that's what makes it a discipline, right? So now let's go ahead and learn more about it. Management versus administration. Although both of them are used interchangeably in so many circumstances, there exists certain difference between both of them, right? So administration is led by British school of thoughts, whereas management is led by American researchers, right? And the British scholars argue that management is much wider compared to administration, whereas role of administration according to them is policy formulation, while the managers implement the policy and get involved in day-to-day problems. Okay, so now we'll look at how administration and management are different. Although they are used interchangeably, there exists certain difference between both of them. So one is given by the British school of thought and the other is given by the American researchers. So the British school of thought argues that management is superior to administration, and the focus of administration is on the immediate problems, while management focus on the achieving the basically on the long term objectives, right? According to them, management is a comprehensive concept and administration is a part of this. They mean that administration is a part of management. However, there are other thinkers like Ted Davis, who is a supporter of a thinking that management process is essentially the same in all the organization, and hence the management and administration have to essentially go through the same process, and hence they are same. So different thoughts exist in this. Few people think they are same, few think they are different. But however, although we use interchangeably both of these in our daily lives. However, so basic point to remember here is one is given by British school of thoughts, while the other is led by American researchers. And you can often use it interchangeably. Okay, importance of management. Very first one is optimum utilization of resources. So you have to just keep in mind that you have to use your resources effectively, efficiently, and if economically, right? Effectively means on time, efficiently means using less resources, and economically means with minimum of spending. So management is important because it helps you to make optimum utilization of your resources, right? Next comes the teams and the group. Organization functions through teams and groups. Managers provide the leadership and direct the members of the teams toward the achievement of group and organizational goals. Thus, management facilitates the achievement of individual, team, and organizational goals by leading them towards the achievement of the desired objectives. It helps in maintaining the interpersonal relationships well. And how does it happen? This must be a thing in your mind that how does it happen, because the tasks are allocated smoothly, and members of the team can monitor each other effectively, and whenever there is any gap or any problem in between, they can talk to each other and they can work in teams, which would help in the development of the interpersonal relationships of the employees working in the organization. Adapt to change. So people are generally used to working the old way they are. And whenever there comes any new thing, they're a bit hesitant to change. Management can help in adapting to the change by adopting the new way. Functions of management. Okay, so these are the functions of management which we would be studying very extensively in the upcoming block 2 and block 3. So these are planning, organizing, staffing, controlling, and directing. You can remember it as POSDC, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, right? So P for it comes as planning. So planning simply means preparing for the future action, right? Planning means we plan for the upcoming trip. Likewise, in management, we also plan for the upcoming projects that are there, upcoming cost controlling, and so on. So that is what the planning is. Organizing refers to the structure of organization with clearly defined lines of authority and responsibility. There has to be organization has to be organized so that people know to whom they have to report to, and so on. So that is what organizing is. Staffing refers to finding the right people for the right job, and staffing basically involves recruiting people and getting right people allotted to the right job. Directing is a function which focuses on providing leadership, communication channels, directing people how to do work, motivating, and so on. And controlling consists of activities which that happens at the end to ensure that there is no deviation from the set goals or objectives. So we would learn about them extensively in the upcoming chapters. Okay, so challenges of management. The very first one is globalization. So why globalization is a challenge for management? It must be a question. Although there are so many benefits of globalization, there are certain challenges as well, right? So with globalizations, the number of competition has obviously increased for the management. Right now, there are many more competitions for them. And globalization has led to interconnectedness between everyone. So now people are aware of more of the things, and that has increased competition, and the people are getting cheap products from somewhere else. So obviously, your clients will switch to your competitors. So that what makes it more difficult for us to compete, and that is how it comes into picture that you have to incorporate your management skills well to gain the competitive advantage. Technology has changed our life in a various good ways. However, it has also led to challenges, because with technology there has come new ways of dealing with the work in a lesser time. Now the organization which have the resources to get the technology are able to do well, but the organizations which do not have the enough resources to get the new technology lag behind in competing. Workforce diversity. So diversity simply means variety, right? Diversity exists in organization when there are variety of demographic, cultural, and personal differences among people who work there. So how with globalization, people are able to move, and people are actually getting to know about different places, and they're merging with different kind of people. So this is leading to work diversity in the workforce. However, everyone is different, and that can lead to the difference between how to deal with different kinds of people because of difference in culture and so on. Innovation is the introduction of new goods and services. Globalization has been a critical driver for innovation. Businesses have to offer products or services to their clients using innovative techniques at a lower price to stay competitive. And if they fail to do so, they are thrown out of the business, right? Ethics and governance. So, globalization has introduced the concept of business with no borders. That means businesses can now operate anywhere across the world. So government presupposes the understanding of rules and regulations in the different corners of the world. But compliance to this ethical code of conduct in businesses has become a really big concern because you have to know about that particular area so that you can comply with the rules there, right? Cost. So customers compare cost before making any purchase decision, and that is how cost comes as like a challenge for the management because now people have the access to a lot of information than they had it previously. And change management. The facts about change that is everywhere, it is constantly present, and the pace of change is experienced by everyone. So every day with globalization, new things are coming up and everyone is aware of it. However, the change management is such that we have to keep adapting to the changes, right? Else our clients will not stick to us, right? They would switch to our competitors, and that would again be a challenge for us. So these are the certain challenges that management is facing because these days, because of these particular factors. However, effective management is a way to deal with all these given challenges and shine, right? So that was it for the chapter. Now the summary is again that I would like to summarize the what we have learned previously about these challenges of management functions, importance, about different importance that are there, management versus administration characteristics. So that was it for today. Now I'm giving a question for you that what are the characteristics of management? So think upon it and answer it. And if you're able to answer this question well, just understand that you have got this chapter completely. Thank you. I'll see you in the next year.